Macs are stupid. And no one should use them. A guide to making Macs print for people who know enough about computers to hate Macs. Apple was founded in 1976, by Steve Wozniak, Steve Jobs and Ronald Wayne for some reason. Who uses a Mac? People who want to be noticed while they work on their screenplay at a coffee shop, rich people who like expensive things that will be obsolete soon, non-profit sector employees who use exclusively mismatched, obsolete, hand-me-down technology, people who don't need to do business with other people, people who hate being able to troubleshoot problems, dandies and fops. Mac users think they should be able to print like regular people. But they can't, because Macs are stupid. Here is the best case scenario for adding a regular printer to a Mac. But first, some Macs and Mac users require constant validation and consent, so you have to enter user credentials multiple times to do basically everything. So make sure the Mac owner doesn't disappear to do the latest TikTok challenge until you're done, because you never know when you'll need them to enter their credentials. And Macs require PostScript to print, which is standard on most printers. PostScript is a page description language developed and marketed by Adobe for Apple's LaserWriter line of printers back in the 80s to make things difficult in the future. If a Mac sends a print job to a printer that doesn't have PostScript, it won't give an error, it just won't print, although the printer may spin up like it's about to print. Step 1. Connect the printer to the network. This is where it gets stupid. Find the system preferences by clicking the Apple icon in the upper left. Choose System Preferences. Choose Printers and Scanners. Click plus to add a new printer. If you see this padlock icon, click it first and you'll need the owner of the Mac to enter their credentials. If you're lucky, the printer shows up in this list. Click the one you want. Then click Add. And it shows up here. Test it by clicking Open Print Queue. This pops up. Move the cursor towards the top and select Printer. Select Print Test Page. Depending on the Mac's mood, a page may come out of the printer and the job will disappear from the queue. But if the Mac is sad, it won't print, the job will stay in the queue, and it won't tell you why. If it doesn't work, align its chakras. Fix it a nice cup of herbal tea. Pay it a compliment. Did you even ask it how it was doing before you started? Then try it 6 more times. It might work on the 7th try, because Macs are stupid. Go back to this part. Click minus to delete the printer. Click the plus to try again, but do it differently this time. This time, click the globe. Type the printer's IP address here. Click Add and try the test page again. Let's pretend it worked that time. If you are adding a printer with configurable options or if you use account control, you will need to download the device-specific driver. The first thing you'll need to do is figure out what operating system the Mac is using. Click the Apple icon and look at About This Mac. This one is 11.7.6. Download the driver from the printer manufacturer's website, or another reputable website. In the past, there was a different Mac driver for every version of every operating system. Stupid, right? That's the one for this Mac. Download the driver. Double-click to run it. Double-click that. Ignore the strong recommendation. Just click Continue. Memorize the software license and click Continue. If you enjoyed the software license, click Agree. Click Install. Find your dude and ask him to enter his credentials. Click OK. There's no way a Mac user could have done that without you. Click Close. Go back and add the printer by its IP address. Newer operating systems communicate with the printer and install it with the right driver if it's available. If it's right, click Add. If it's not, click the Use drop-down. Choose Select Software. Find the one you want and click OK. Click Add. The driver knows which options are available for the printer, but Macs are too dumb to configure the driver automatically. Choose the options from the drop-downs. Input tray options. Large capacity tray. Output tray options. Whatever. Don't care. Just ignore the things it doesn't have. Then click OK. You can change the options later by clicking Options and Supplies. Click the Options tab. And you get to the same screen. You can also change the name of the printer from this screen. Type in whatever you like. But try not to confuse the Mac user. It'll show up that way here. Maybe it'll be that easy for you, maybe it won't. No one knows because Macs are stupid. A truly painful printer installation experience on a Mac includes account control. The easy way to configure account control is to enter the user code in a print dialog box. But it only works if they always use last used settings. Because Macs are stupid. So find something to print. And open a print dialog box, by using Command+P. Or by using the toolbar at the top. The print settings should appear here. But sometimes they don't, because Macs are stupid. Click Show Details to see the print settings. The settings are here even though that drop-down doesn't say it. And it doesn't always say Preview either. It could say any of these things. Because Macs are stupid. Click it anyway. The one you are looking for is job handling. Click authentication. Most often they just need a user number. So choose user number. And type the user number here. Then click print. Not OK, not apply, not save, just print. How does it remember? Well, it may not. Because Macs are stupid. Next time they print, they'll have to choose the last used settings preset. And if they change any other settings, they may have to re-enter the code as well. If a print job without a user code is sent to a printer that uses account control, it may not give an error, it just won't print, although sometimes the printer may spin up like it's about to print. Frequently, people buy a color printer and then panic at the thought of unintentionally printing a color page. The color mode can be changed from the print dialog box as well. Click the color mode drop-down. Choose black and white. And that will be the last used setting until it isn't anymore. Use the Advanced tab when the colors don't match the Mac owner's feelings. Just click things until they stop crying. There's another way to configure color modes and account codes. It's a little more complicated but more permanent. Printer defaults can be configured through CUPS, so Mac users don't have to rely on their stupid Mac to remember which settings they used last. CUPS used to stand for Common Unix Printing System and is a browser-based method of administering printers on a Mac. Now I guess it doesn't stand for anything. Like KFC. Just Google this if you ever have to do it. But first you have to find a web browser. Move the cursor towards the bottom of the screen to reveal the dock. Sometimes the dock is on the side because Mac users are unconventional and unique, or more likely, they moved it accidentally and can't figure out how to move it back. Grown-ups use Chrome. But you might have to settle for Safari. Search for how to enable CUPS on a Mac or something to that effect. Just follow the instructions, none of this is worth remembering. First, it'll tell you that you need to enable CUPS on the computer using Terminal, which is the Mac's stupid version of a DOS prompt. To find Terminal, move the cursor towards the bottom of the screen and click on the stupid face. Click Applications in the menu on the left. Click the magnifying glass in the upper right to search. Type Terminal in the search field. Double-click the icon. No one knows what any of this means. Go back to the web page and find this. At this point you may notice that the mouse doesn't have any of the buttons that make a mouse useful. Because Macs are stupid. Use Command+C to copy. Use Command+V to paste. You'll have to figure out how to highlight the text on your own. Paste the text and press return. Nothing noticeable will happen. Then go back to that website and find this information. Copy it and paste it in the address bar, which takes you to this handsome page. This is the printer's IP address. This is whatever you named it earlier. Click the IP address. And it takes you to this equally attractive page. The default settings are found in this drop-down. Choose Set Default Options. And it takes you to this stunning graphic user interface. It may ask for some credentials at any time. These are the Mac owner's credentials. Click Color. Click the Color Mode drop-down. Choose Black and White. Click Set Default Options. This will show up for a second. They can still change the color mode from the print dialog box, but it'll always go back to black and white. You could also set a default user code by clicking Job Handling. Then the user number drop-down. Choose Custom. Enter the user code here. Click Set Default Options. It'll show this thing again. Some of these other settings might be useful, but you should hope you never have to find out. Because Macs are stupid. If you have any questions about printing from a Mac, go ahead and Google them. But anyone who claims to be an expert is lying. Because Macs are stupid. And no one should use them.